Hi, y'all. I'm still waiting for hubby to come on. Let me see. I don't even know how you can be late to a live, but he finds a way to be late, you guys. I think somebody just added, oh, hey. Hey, sexy thing. There's a hell of an echo.
It's hella echo. Shut your door.
Is my, oh yeah, I should shut my door. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
She just must have.
I can only be graceful in words. Like if I'm acting, I'll be like, you know, all of the mannerisms and the, yes, because that's the character. But as a person, I trip all the time.
And Da Vinci got it honest.
Oh my God, that kid. Da Vinci's my son, our son. And let me tell you, he trips over everything.
Like I'm walking with him yesterday, he trips on his own feet. He fell on the ground. I looked at him and I'm like, do I be soothing or do I be a dad right now? Because he was looking forward, he goes like this and he just trips on himself. I just like, get up.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So Jay, I want
Wifey.
to, huh?
I said wifey. I just responded.
Oh, okay. So basically, I've been getting a lot of questions about our move to Kansas City, all the way from the illustrious Los Angeles to the Midwest. I'm really gonna like try not to like deflate my voice because honestly, first of all, I know a lot of my followers are from the Midwest, and there's a lot of things. There's actually a lot of things that I like about the Midwest, but I think in a lot of people's minds, it's just not as shiny as Los Angeles. You know what I mean? It's not like posh. Like, I feel like when I first thought of Missouri and Kansas, because they're kind of like the same thing, I just could think of The Wizard of Oz, cows.
Most people do that. That's more common. That's actually more common than you think.
Cows, lots of grass, people in plaid shirts, which they kind of are, a lot of people in plaid shirts. And a little bit of a twang. But you're from Kansas City, right?
I am. The best way that I can explain, well, I mean, the why, there's a bunch of whys as far as being here. But first and foremost, the thing is like, I'm born and raised from here, but Kansas City is not permanent for us. It is really just us being here to, first of all, let my son be with family. Those who don't know, my mom is really, really hands-on with him, so he gets to have that grandma life. And then between his godparents and just a lot of things like that, just allowing him to kind of, like in LA, it was just Toya and I. It's just Toya and I. We do have friends, but not even in the space of like we have one friend, a great friend, Chris, who definitely saw Da Vinci all the time. But as far as like multiple and shower, like for example, this was the first time he got to have a birthday party and more than 5 people showed up who loves him. And so that was really cool to give. There's a couple of things. I'll go into the next one because he starts with Da Vinci, then I'll get to us. Then there is like Da Vinci is a very assertive child. When he wants you to do something, he will do everything possible to make sure you do it outside of pulling your hand. He'll come to me and go, Daddy, Daddy, love me? Love me? I love you, Daddy. Oh, and I'm like, what do you want? He'll be like, sandwich? You know?
Yup.
But because of that, I love his hustle, and I like that he got our hustle life, but I want to make sure that he gets the Midwestern sense of kindness. because there's a Los Angeles sense of hustle that says, screw everybody, screw everything that you do, and I just want what I want. And I want to make sure I was raised here truly like a Midwest guy. So, for example, if I see, and Toya, you can speak for this, if I see an old lady carrying groceries, I'm going to stop and help her. It feels weird not to do it, you know? And so it's like, I want to make sure that he has that kind of kindness, even if it's here for a couple of years, he doesn't realize it, to kind of bring that kindness into his spirit so that he can still be a gentleman and a hustler, gentleman hustler. The other one was obviously the cost. Like literally the cost is night and day. As you guys see, I'm in this beautiful office. I am not outside. This is my swaggy office. House of Sorrel's YouTube video coming soon talking about how I did it all. Toya right now is literally in hers, you know? And so we got to have these spaces that we wanted to have where we could even do things like this and really truly be in our zone. Whereas like in our last home, I think her office was in the bedroom, mine was in the living room, and we were making it work. So it was cool. So now, you know, we can do this. We can, and then there's another thing with Kansas City being able to lay low. I know it's like we're not gonna lay low, but there is this idea of Toya and I talked about this, of like being able to be here away from the hustle. I call it hustle fatigue of Los Angeles, where it's just like, if you ain't sleeping, you ain't hustling. If you ain't walking 5 times, you ain't, you know, it's like all this. If you ain't did it, Gary Vaynerchuk over hustle, you need to dang near kill yourself. And if you don't, you're not good enough. And so here we got to kind of get away from that for a second so that we can focus on our dreams and focus on our goals and focus on our family without this constant, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. And then there's just like, as I go more personal, then there's other things like for me, being here with family is always like I'm a family guy. Toya met me being completely a family person. Like, you know, I'm for real family. Like not family in the sense that like, I like being around family, but it may not necessarily be that I'm always like trying to find 17 million ways to do it. But I will Thanksgiving and Christmas and, you know, somebody showing up for birthday. I grew up with that. I grew up with that love. I grew up with that village of everybody showering you and wanting to be around you all the time.
Can I cut in for a second?
Please. I'm tired of people.
So he really is a family guy, and you're probably gonna hate that I'm gonna tell this story, but it's also something that I found attractive but really annoying. So so when we met, we met November 14th, 2014. I believe. Well, no, that's when we started officially dating. When we actually met, well, I guess we could talk about that another time. But anyway, we had only
That's
been
a whole nother video. Don't be telling those kind of. They don't need to know that yet.
We have some anyway. So basically, we had been official November 14th, and then of course Thanksgiving I think was like the next week or the week after. And mind you, like I don't travel home for like my family and things like that. I always stay home for Thanksgiving. Christmas is our family's big thing. Anyway, I'm fully thinking that he's about to not go with his family and chill with his new girlfriend.
His new girlfriend.
I'm like, we're gonna spend Thanksgiving together. And he was like, no, what? Like, it wasn't even like a thought in his head. He's like, no, I need to see my family. And so at that time, I think I was upset because I was gonna be alone when I finally got a good boyfriend up in there. But when you really step back and sort of think about the whole picture, I respect that. I really do. I really respect that you value your relationship with your family and you're willing to water that, no matter if you got a new girlfriend who's hot as hell and you know you could have just stayed the whole weekend with me and everything and ignore.
But here's the secret, right? Here's the secret, right? You are now my wife, which makes you my family, right? And you know how serious I am about family. So you now know, you found out how serious I would be about you when we were dating. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that means that like we weren't family then. We are now though. You know, and when it
Exactly.
comes down to our future, you know I put family, you know, annoyingly so, I put family first and now you're part of that circle. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you know that says a lot. Um but when I think about family, you know, we didn't grow up rich, we didn't grow up this, but there's this level of like when you have family that loves you, when you have family that like literally, how are you doing? Toya, you know, you and I have been ambitious our whole lives. I have wanted to be exactly what I am right now, painter, artist, since I was a child. There was never a moment that I didn't want to be where I am now, as an illustrator, all that. The same with you, as far as acting, being in front of the camera, that was something you always wanted. There is something special when for so long we've put our identity on what we do because it's what we wanted to do so much. It's nice to be around people who don't identify you with what you want to do, but with who you are. And when you have some people that just love you and they could care, they love that you are doing it, but they're like, how are you doing though? Like, are you okay? Did you eat today? Go do those dishes. Go clean up. I don't care how famous you are. You know what I mean? It's something magical when you have that. And you don't want to let that go because let's just be real. After all this hustle, after all this fame, when it's time for us to be on our deathbed, it's not going to be followers. It's not going to be fans. You know what I mean? It's going to be family.
It's not going to be the job that you killed yourself for.
It's not going to be the job that you killed yourself for. It's literally going to be those people who say, I love you regardless of what happens in your life. And I hold that dear. And I always think, if I were to die next week, right? Did I spend it hustling for a life that clearly never happened because now I'm dead? Or did I spend it with the people who truly said, I love you? You know what I mean? And so, you know, you are part of that family now, but you know that now. So anyway, to the Kansas City thing though, I think there was a lot just kind of going on with the pandemic. Toya and I, just as a relationship, as a married couple, I think it was just kind of good for us to, you know, go through a certain new level of ups and downs, but some that make us see each other better. Even if we may fight a little bit more at certain times, we are seeing each other outside of Los Angeles, but like, for real, who are you? Like, but for real. You know, and because when you're in a relationship, you think you're still dating the person you started dating. So you're not the same Toya from November 14th, 2014, nor am I the same JQ. We got to keep understanding it and keep loving each other. So there's that. Then there was just like, you guys, I don't know if you guys know, I'm running a startup, and there was just a lot of things that I was kind of going through even personally. I'm really kind of both of us, really, because you finally doing the big leap for yourself, me doing the, you know what I mean, the kind of leap. I'm leaping, I'm jumping, and so it was just kind of a matter of being able to stop for a second and ask yourself, what do I want? Because I've always had this ambition since I was a child, but is it something I still want? You know what I mean, that kind of thing. So anyway, I was rambling, but I think you guys kind of get the love where I was going with that.
I like that you're talking about hustle culture and everything, because we are two incredibly ambitious people, and you know, it's hard to find a partner that gets it, but also gets that balance as well. Because I've dated in the past people who didn't understand my ambition in terms of my love to work and to create something and to make, and how hard I work and how much time and dedication that does take. So having kind of the same type of person in you, but then also your personality it's in a way that you literally will force me to take a step back and have fun for a second. You know, take me on a date, and you're really attentive in that way. And as annoying as it can be sometimes, because you know I'm a workaholic, I appreciate it because it keeps me human. So
yes, there was something that happened to me years ago before I came to
Hi,
LA.
Hannah. Sorry.
Yeah, bye bye. There was before I came to LA, I actually used to stress myself into the ground. And I can give you guys, maybe this can kind of give some encouragement, but I used to really, when I say I overworked myself, I'm still a lot this way, you guys. Like, I still probably don't go to sleep until 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Toya will attest to this. I try not to wake her up.
Definitely a night owl.
Yeah, I'm 100% a night owl, but it used to be that I didn't eat and I just didn't sleep for like more than 48 hours at a time. I was working 64 hours at a full-time job. I was part-time at Apple. I was recording an album. I was making a children's book. Like, I was doing a lot at one time, and I felt like I needed to do it. And what happened was that I got an ulcer from the stress. Like, I had to like it felt like it hurt. If you guys ever had a stomach ulcer, and it came from the stress, and they told me to calm down. You're too young for this. And so that's kind of like, I felt that, but I still started stressing. I came to LA. A long story short, it'll be a long story short, but I ended up homeless and stuff like that. And I waved it away because it's a longer conversation. But there was one moment after I was homeless that I was taking a bus in Los Angeles, and I had $5. And I don't know if you guys know that the bus route, but if you put $5, you get a little ticket back that allows for you to use the bus all day. That was the last $5 I had. And I used it to go to the Grove so that I could get some R&R, just some peace, right? And I lived in Culver City at the time. So I'm done with Culver City. I'm done with the Grove. It's like 9 p.m. and I got this ticket, and I'm ready to go home, only to find out it didn't work. The $5 didn't take. And so I had to walk home. And walking from the Grove to where I was, it was one of the loneliest walks and I just felt like utter shit. And you know what happened at that moment, you guys? Like, there's a moment, and this is what helped. I feel, for me to be a better even lover to you, but it was like, I felt like a robot. I felt like I was working so hard, I became this robot who just worked, robot, that I lost my humanity in a way, because I was so focused that now that everything was stripped away and I had to walk and I had to just look at the city with nothing, I got this, you guys, I'm a Christian, so I'm about to go some Jesus on you, but I had this moment where I was praying because I said, God, there's got to be something better than this. Like, my heart. And I felt like I jumped off this cliff because I'm a risk taker, and I felt like I moved to LA. I did it. I jumped. Oh, man, it's time. Like, I did it. And when I jumped, I was like, God got me. I'm going to jump off this cliff. God's going to give me wings, and I'm going to fly, because this is what God had me doing since I was 7 years old. And God didn't give me wings, y'all. He clipped my wings, actually, and I fell. And I hit the cliff. I hit the floor. I hit my face. I broke an arm. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't let me fly. And what I realized in that walk, I was like, God, you told me to fly. You told me to jump. And yet I'm right here with nothing, walking home. And God told me, you can survive the fall. And right then I was like, oh, God didn't give me wings, because he was letting me know that my worst fear, I will live through. So to keep jumping, bro, because you got this. But from that, though, while that part is strong, the part that I loved the most was live. Like, I got you. Keep jumping. But remember to live. Like, you don't have to beat yourself into the ground, because I got you. So go be a human being. Go love. Go give somebody a hug. Remember your family. And so when I met Toya, which ended up being later that year, actually. It ended up being later that year.
I
2014.
had just moved to Los Angeles December 2013. Yeah. And so when we met, it was nearly a year, like year anniversary living in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and I had left Los Angeles and just came back. And I think what ended up happening...
It's the talking! Sorry. I don't know when to cut in. I don't know when to cut in, Jay.
Hey, I'm just talking. I feel like what helped me with you, Toya, was was going through that, because I then Like if you saw when we met, I got Charlie, which if you guys remember my dog Charlie, who I miss. Um, I was trying to live because I felt like I was over hustling, and I was trying to live, and that was when I met you on Plenty of Fish because I was doing online dating. I was literally saying, I'm done over hustling. I want to live. I want to find love, and that was when I found you. But when we started dating, it became really important to me. As much as I hustled, like if I hustled, if it, like think of level 10, right? If I hustled at a 5, I loved at a 5. If I hustled at a 10, I loved at a 10. Like I always wanted to make sure, a that it was
They
always
asked
at
if
that
we're
level.
married.
Huh? Oh
They
yeah,
asked
yeah,
if we
yeah.
were married, and I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh yeah. And this is my third
You
ring,
said
second
Plenty of
ring.
Fish. That's where the amazing women are.
You said
I
what?
mean, I had only joined for like 20 minutes. Uh,
No, we got lucky, y'all. We got. I'm not advertising Plenty
no,
of Fish.
you know what, Jay, and I'm so sorry to cut you off.
No, no, please, just talk.
Um, I used to say like, oh, we got lucky, and there's a bit of luck to that,
Mm-hmm.
but our relationship is one of the most logical decisions I've ever made.
Yeah.
Um, I think that we have an idea, just like you said, when you jump, you're gonna, they say jump and the net will appear, jump and you'll have wings, all of this stuff, but sometimes you fall. So I think, hold on. I feel a cough coming on. Jay, what was I just saying? Hold on.
You know when somebody's talking and
Excuse
you
me.
really
Hold on.
with them and then they ask what was you saying? You ever do that, you guys? Like there's a word and you like, oh, Michael Jackson's dope. You be like, what's that artist that does the moonwalk? You like,
You guys, what was I just saying? Because all I kept thinking was, I'm gonna cough, I'm gonna cough, I'm gonna cough, I'm gonna cough. I was talking about how we joined. When I say, we say that we're lucky a lot. And I do believe that there is a bit of luck, but our relationship is one of the most logical relationships I have ever been in, and one of the most logical decisions that I've ever made in terms of having a romantic relationship with another human being. Because I think, the movies and the books and this, it does exist. It's like you meet someone. I'm gonna die, y'all. It's like you meet. Oh my God. I was not coughing when he met me, but
I did run into
someone.
a tree. I ran into a tree when we first met. That's a funny story too.
That's true.
Or I ran into a light pole, but it was wooden.
You meet someone and you get swept off of your feet, and they give you this like butterfly feeling, and you can't think of anyone. I mean, we did go through that experience. Yeah. Obviously, I was very smitten with JQ. I really enjoyed talking with you, actually. Like, we have really good, and till this day, we have really good and deep conversations about...
Like this, actually. Like this.
Yeah.
This is how we talk, actually.
This is how we talk on a normal basis. That's why he seems, sometimes you get people on you and it looks awkward. It's like, we do this all the time. By Destiny. But yes, it was intentional. It was an intentional decision to be with this man after careful consideration, in terms of getting married especially. I think when we got together, it was more of that like honeymoon, oh my God, I found someone who gets me and is kind and is handsome, and we have deep conversations, and he's intelligent and all these things. But as we, continue dating and having little tiffs here and there and having different experiences, it really was like, it was like the most adult decision I ever made. I'm like, is this someone I would marry? Does he hold the qualities of someone that I could see myself spending the rest of my life with? And even from that first moment of you leaving to go spend time with your family, I've watched everything that you are, or I've watched who you are. I've watched what you stand for. And it became abundantly clear to me that you were the one. And that it wasn't just, oh my God, he's treating me nice. He, you know what I mean? Because I think that, you know, there's sometimes, and I'm just going to be real with the ladies right here. Sometimes the bar is so low for men. I mean, it can be hella low. It's like, he brushed his teeth. Oh my God. Oh my God. He, like, no, literally, like, it's like, when I turned him down, he didn't cuss me out. Like, the bar is sometimes so low. And I think with the consistent rechecking in with myself, of, you know, being in different relationships, whether they were platonic or there were
romantic. You said the bar is in hell. Journey to
the bar is in hell. Literally. I've heard women say, I want to have sex with him because he has good hair. Literally, you guys. Literally giving your whole body away because someone was just there. So anyway, back to what I was saying, you know, every relationship I've been in has been very, I've had to reevaluate, you know, what went right, what went wrong, what's a deal breaker for me. And I think that you end up finding that person for you when you are, the more in tune you are with yourself, the more in tune you'll be in the universe, or be with the universe when they give you the signs of like who your person is supposed to be.
Well, for me, it was like, look, if I'm going to make a list of all the things that I want in a perfect woman, then I need to figure out what her list and make sure I check out all those too, right? It's kind of allowing yourself to step out of selfishness and entitlement and be like, okay, if this is what I want, then can I give at that same level? What are the things that this person wants? I think, and for that, that's why I was talking about that year. Was that year I spent doing just that? Like, what could I do to care, right? Because kindness is really the part that everyone struggles with, and being kind to ourselves. We can be kind to others, but how kind are you to yourself? That, like, you can't give what you don't have, right? So if I'm not happiness, if I'm not happy, I can't give happiness. If I'm not kind to myself, I can't be kind to others. If I can't love myself, I can't love others. And so if you want to check out that other person, all the things on that other person's list, then you have to allow yourself to go through these moments of self-identification so that you can give the thing you want. But I think about us, and I like what you said about logic.
Can I stop for a second? Because you said something like, if I don't love myself, I can't love others. And I think that there's like a surface level of thought to that goes, oh, well, yeah, but when you really think about it, because there's someone out there who's going to say, well, you know, lots of people love me and I love others and I don't feel that good about myself. But to like, when you get to know yourself and you love yourself, you're more able to teach people how to love you better. And that creates a more balanced and fruitful relationship. And I think that that's kind of what you're getting at, right?
Because, well, it's the non-delusional love of self, right? And where I go with that is, when sometimes we say I like myself, and that's because we're focusing only on the things that make us great, only on the things that make us feel good. I love myself as long as I don't think about that time I screwed that person over, or that time, you know what I mean? Like, it's like loving your whole self, flaws and all, to say I am imperfect, and that's what makes me perfect for someone. You know, like I love that I don't have this, or my body's not this, or this. It's saying I love me as I am, but if I get a little better, cool, right? Because if I can love me as I am, then Toya, I'm gonna love you as you are, no matter if you go to the gym tomorrow or you don't, because I found a way to love myself through my imperfections, right? I learned to love myself for my flaws and the things that I'm working on them. It don't mean like accept them. It just means love them. God, Jesus asked us to love, not like, not accept, not enjoy, love. You know what I mean? When you think about the totality of that comment, it's really big. But I think about you, and we talk about our logic, the logical. I think that's what really happened with both of us is that I think when it comes to relationships, so much of it is a choice, and we let our emotions dictate everything. And so when we let our emotions dictate everything, when we feel that bad emotion, or when we allow ourselves to feel that bad emotion, because can't nobody make you feel nothing, you have to allow it. But when we allow ourselves to say, hey, I'm with this person and I see this person, I'm going to make a choice to spend another day with them. My emotions aren't like, oh no, I feel like I have to. You and I were just like, no, I see you. I think I want to do this again. It was like, and we do that every day. Even when we fight, it's still, even when because Toya and I fight, but when it comes from that though, we definitely go, I'm not going to cross that line. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then we could be really mad at each other and go, okay, I know I'm mad at you, but are you hungry? Like, because I'm about to go get some food. It's just this choice that we keep making to be like, okay, you piss me off, but are you hungry? And then like something happens to Da Vinci and Toya and I could be like, rah, 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 Da Vinci go, here we go, what? And we just totally sink. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's one of my favorite things.
We keep making a choice. We keep making that choice.
That's one of my favorite things about our relationship. And I think we talk about it often. It's just like, we could be going through anything, but if there's like crisis mode or something,
yeah,
or we need to figure something out or something, it's like everything that didn't really matter kind of goes away, and we really do a good job of working together for the most optimal outcome. And so I really love that. But
that's
Jay,
why we have so much fun when we do new things together. Like that time we ate that edible for the first time, like dumbasses, and went to go to the movies.
Why you gotta put us on blast like that?
And see, I said it really loud.
This is the internet, okay? This is the internet, you guys. You guys are gonna have to hear that story another time.
Oh, it's a story. We'll tell it later. But, it's funny. It's funny. We loved each other more. I think we fell more in love during being high. It wasn't the high. It was just how much we had each other's back. Like, there was not one moment in this new experience for the both of us, and we were scared because I thought I was going to get a heart attack because I'm like, I had a lot, and my heart was going here, and there was never a moment we weren't thinking of the other. It was never like, like, oh, I got to look out for me. We just did. We autopiloted immediately into get each other's back. And it was like, if there was ever a moment where you say you want a partnership in love, that was the moment. It was like pure partnership. I got you, you got me. And I think that set the tone for us, though, even though that might have been technically years later. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that set the tone for us. Even when we went to Italy for our honeymoon, like you being pregnant with Da Vinci, you get what I mean? It was just that it set the tone that's like, okay, when one of us is down, you get what I mean? Like, all right, nothing else matters until the other
100%. I could be hella mad at you. Remember, I forget what we did. When we did Wipeout, something happened, and I remember being really annoyed with you about something. I don't remember exactly what it was.
At Wipeout?
At Wipeout, when we were
like
on
when we were actually like in the stupid obstacle course?
No, right beforehand. So we're inside the stall next to each other changing into our like Wipeout outfits. So Wipeout is a game show, and you do this big ass obstacle course. It was really popular in Asia and in
One ball, two ball, red ball, blue ball. JQ here works on children's books while his wife LaToya vlogs about hair care.
Ah, Father Goose and Dr. Moose. That reminds me of my favorite bedtime nursery rhyme. Cena had a little course. His balls were big and red, and everywhere the runners went, they wished they were home.
It was after. What you're talking about was after the course, because that's what happened.
Okay, it was after.
Yeah, I remember talking about.
Yeah, it was. So that course is so exhausting. I don't know if you ever watched the TV show, but it's way harder than it looks. And y'all, I nearly thought I was gonna lose my life. I was literally swimming for my life. For real, you guys, I was like, I'm never doing this again. My whole body, my throat, everything was on fire.
Wait. I want to tell them the end. In the show Wipeout, and the whole thing is there's that opening part, right, where you have to get done within a certain amount of time. Those who have the shortest time are the 6 that make it through, even though it's like 11 of us, I think. Everybody's competing. I mean, all of us are like, oh, we're going to beat you because nobody did the course yet because they wouldn't show us the course. We just had to kind of know. And they would just basically push us off the edge and we do the course. Y'all, when you do the course, they're doing everything possible to make you bust your ass. Like for real. 20-foot
yeah,
water.
They're throwing it's slimy.
Slime.
They're throwing toys at you.
Yes. And you have this 15-pound vest on you, and you need to go swim. You just got knocked out in 20-foot water, have to swim to the other side, and then hurry up and get to the next course to do the next course. So anyway, that beat us up. I got punched in the face by like a wall, and I don't know if you guys saw that. You guys saw a bunch of times I got hit, but in the end, I definitely got punched because I passed out. I woke up in the water in that last one. All the teams were competing against each other in the beginning, but after all of the teams went through the course, we were competing on who was going to go home. Like, nobody wanted to go to the next course. No one did. And so when they were like, all right, you guys, like, we're going to find out the 6 that made it through. And every single one of us, every group, we're like, not us, please. So when they would call, they was like the first person to make it through. They were like, is this me? We were like, oh, it wasn't us. Oh, we feel so
good
bad.
job, guys.
You know, and so they would get through, and they were like, all right, the last people to make it through, and Toya and I, we're like, please don't let it be us.
Please don't let it be.
I want to go home.
I don't want to win.
And
I don't want to win.
Remember, we were like, oh, it looks like we gotta go home. We're gonna go lay in our beds. So sad. You know what, you guys, like, enjoy the course. Her bedtime. We're gonna get our son and go.
Yeah.
We were like, run before they asked us to come back.
Well, but we couldn't run because I felt like I was gonna die. I even had the medical person come and be like, I don't know why my whole body, like my heart is burning. I've never felt anything like that in my life. We get inside the stall.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what it was. We were so exhausted. We get inside the stall and you're like, babe, I need you. Babe, I don't know where the strength came from, you guys. I don't know where because I was so exhausted. But as soon as I heard him say, babe, I need you, all of a sudden it was like I forgot how exhausted I was and that I could barely move, and I had to like go inside the stall. I'm like, what's going on? He ended up just having like a really bad cramp. But
no, my whole leg. So before I do physical stuff, because I've been like breakdancing since I was a kid, and I always used to know before I went into anything crazy physical to eat a banana. And for whatever reason, I didn't this time because of the potassium. And but you guys, I was in the stall changing, and I kid you not, I went to like stretch my leg, to pull, to pull the shorts off, and my whole leg, the muscle from the hip to my foot froze. And and not only did it freeze in full Charlie horse, but it was going harder. It was almost like, it was like my leg was turning into concrete and then breaking. And so that's what LaToya, because if it just froze, it was one thing, but it kept going tighter. It was like the muscles kept going tighter. And so it just hurt, and I could feel some of my bones even kind of get closer to one another because of the way that they were going. And that's what LaToya, I need you, because it just kept going tighter. And then she ran in there so fast, and I was like, I need you. She was like massaging my leg because it just kept doing this, and it hurt so bad.
But I guess those are like the little moments that you just think about when they say that it's about the little things. The way that we're able to operate from just our gut love for each other, no matter what's happening on the surface, is my favorite part about our relationship. 100%.
And unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave because
we gotta
I have to pick up our son.
I'm going too. This was Da Vinci's first day of preschool. So I gotta go. We gotta go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys want another live, like around an actual another topic, like a specific topic, just DM me and I'll write it down or something. And don't worry, the House of Searles videos, they're coming. I'm so behind.
I got a big office tour coming soon, you guys. So you guys will be able to see my office, and I'll do a whole explainer and everything about how I built it and all that jazz. So we'll go into all of it. But yeah, you guys, can't wait.
All right, bye y'all.
All right.
Love you, and thank you so much for your support today, especially on my latest video, you guys. And thanks, Jay, for, everything. All right. I love you. Bye. Bye, the Southern Etiquette, and thank you so much for buying a badge. Mwah.